Hello everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining me. In this session, we're going to focus on a restorative practice encouraging our middle back to arch and our thigh bone and upper arm bone to internally rotate. That's going to be a nice feeling of release over time. These are difficult positions to get to, that's why I've chosen them. They go well together. I'm using a pillow and a yoga block. They're about the same height. My pillow is left to right organized so that my area of just around my tip of my wing bones, the lower tip of your shoulder blade, is supported on the pillow. The back of your hips are on the floor, and your head's going to be on the yoga block. Now, what you're looking for is that we'll start with your head, is that your face is looking pretty much directly forward. Without the yoga block or a smaller prop, it's hard for my head to face directly forward. My eyes can look forward, but my face is not going directly forward. My face is angled towards the wall. So you want to find an elevation where, when your head is resting, there's no tension there. Not holding up. The plane of your face is trying to be pretty parallel to the ceiling, right? If your face was mostly a flat surface, you can try to imagine that out, and it'd be parallel to the ceiling ideally. Now, your middle back is propped up on the thing, whatever you're using. Make sure it's something that you can stay on that's not too uncomfortable. The back of your hips are on the floor. And the pillow is not so high that the tip of my tailbone's touching the mat, encouraging my lower back to arch a lot. We're not trying to arch the lower back a lot here. In the end of the neck and the end of the lower back, we're trying to have it in more of a less arched position than your middle back, because the practice is mostly focused on trying to get the middle of your spine, the part that's most difficult to be an extension, to extend, and the parts that are easiest to extend, the end of your top of your neck, where your head and neck join, and where your tailbone, between your waistband and your tailbone, that part, it's easier to extend there. So we're going to focus on that less. So you want to find a place where you don't feel like your lower back or your neck are in their fullest arch. They could arch a lot more if they wanted to, but they're not, right? So there's that. Now I'm using a yoga band around my thighs. You could do whatever works best for you. My knees are bent. My legs are about hip distance apart, a little further, a little farther apart is fine. My knees are bent. I walk my feet out as far as they can be, and I turn my toes to face inwards as much as they can go, right? That's going to be a nice sense of internally rotating your thigh bone. And what you want is a sensation of gentle pressure, let's say, but not around your knee. So if what you feel here is your knee, doesn't matter if it's just one, you need to walk your feet just a little closer together until that sense of pressure on your knee is decreased or diminished to a level that you feel is within acceptable ranges. Again, no knee pressure is ideal, but everyone's different. Right? So specifically around your knee, be gentle, but you are going to feel things around your hips and thighs up towards your knee. Right? Got that? All right, now your arms are on the floor. Palms down, elbows bent, palms down ideally. If that's not comfortable for you, elevating your hands off the floor evenly, your elbow to hand, onto pillows would be ideal, right? Now, if you can and you're comfortable, you're going to reach your hands towards each other behind you, where your body's not touching the floor. If that's not comfortable for you, have your hands further apart, away from each other. And this is going to encourage your upper arm bone to be in the same kind of rotation that your thigh bone is experiencing. People tend to be really have a hard time with these ranges of motion. So it's often helpful to get people to acknowledge these ranges of motions by staying in them for a little bit. And that's all we're going to do here. Once you've found the position, you can join me. You can always hit pause and set yourself up. All right? So once you're here, we're going to stay here and focus on gentle breathing practice. Just take a nice breath in. Doesn't matter how you get the breath in. And just exhale and think of melting your body towards the floor behind you. Great. Again, breathe in any way you want to is perfectly great. And exhale. Any way you want to exhale is perfectly fine as well. And think of melting your body into the floor behind you. As you inhale, think of like when a pond is filling up with rainwater and overflowing into the banks, expanding in all those directions. And as you exhale, those relationships diminish, so the pond shrinks back into itself after a few days of no rain. Again, inhale, you're overflowing over the edge where the pond meets the land, expanding. And exhaling, you're slowly, slowly shrinking away from those borders and melting down. Easy. Again, inhale, open, expand. Just feel the ribs inflate. Exhale, feel those ribs sink and draw together. Easy breathe, relaxing your toes. Again, inhale, deep and wide. Keep resting on the props. And exhale, think of molding and falling down towards the floor behind you, melting, becoming one with it. Inhale, expand, open. Let the back of your head be soft, let your neck release. Exhale, release tension, breathe deeply. Inhale, inhale some more, inhale some more, inhale some more. And then exhale, easy, gentle, breathe deeply. And keep going, keep breathing. While you're being here, feel free to make any adjustment you need to. If something needs to move and you can't stop thinking about it, or it's just a thought in your mind, allow yourself to adjust it to be more comfortable, right? If something keeps coming back to you over and over again in your awareness, you can attend to it and adjust it to make yourself more comfortable. And it's okay to be done way before I am. You may already be done. You may be up and out of here, and that's totally acceptable. You can fast forward to the next part where you just do a gentle, quick counter pose. Nothing wrong with that. You can also take breaks. If you're here and you're like, I'm okay, but then I need to come up, you can come up, take a second, take a few breaths, and then come back into it and see how you feel. Were you done completely, or did you just need a little break? Breaks are great. Nothing wrong with taking a break. Easy. You can also try and increase in sensations as you're here. You can try walking your feet a little further away from each other and seeing if there's any sort of knee tension there, right? Knee tension's not the goal. If it's too much on your knee, when you have tension there, walk your feet a little closer together. But you can try doing the opposite as well if you feel comfortable doing that. You can also try bringing your hands a little closer together behind you. They can overlap or not. And you may feel that that's too far. Then you can just walk your hands a little away from each other a little bit. Or you can walk your hands closer and say, how does this feel? Take a couple of breaths, if you can, without pain or strain, and decide how you feel about that position. Is it too much? Do you need to back up out of it? Is the pillow you're resting on, is it too high? Can you not wait until this position is over? If you're counting the seconds till it's over, that's an indication that it's not appropriate for you. It's too high, it's too aggressive. Make it lower, choose something else that's not so high up off the floor so you're not pushed into such an extreme position for yourself, right? Everyone's different. Specifically, how does your neck feel here? Is your head just resting? Is your head slowly falling back, your chin falling away from your chest over time? If it is, try using a little higher prop for your head away from the floor so your head isn't pulled back so dramatically with such slow force, right? It's just be resting comfortably. Again, we're not trying to arch our neck or lower back markedly. They could arch a lot more if they wanted to. We are trying to arch our middle back here without overextending the outer ranges that are easy to. The middle back tends to be difficult to find this position in. So sometimes just laying in this position can help you feel what that is, to be in an arch in your middle back and less in your neck and lower back. To feel the upper arm bones rotate inwards when we don't get to do that a lot traditionally, right? To feel your thigh bones rotate inward is great. To feel your feet, toes facing each other in the position as well. Again, it's a really unusual position and it's great to practice so long as you don't have pain or strain. We're almost done. You're doing really well. Again, breathing deeply. Inhale when you're ready. And just exhaling. Really nice work. 2 more like that. Great job. Let your head rest. Just inhale. Really good. And just breathe. Exhale. One more time. Inhaling, you're doing really well. And exhale. Now, if you're chomping at the bit to come out of here, just slowly make micro movements to come out. Otherwise, we're going to change your breath pattern to make it slower or quicker, right? If your breath was quick and you couldn't do the slow at all, try and slow it down here concisely and move your body a little bit like your fingers and toes. If your breath was slow, make it a little quicker here. So take shorter, shallower breaths. And also try to wiggle your fingers and toes. You can gently let your eyelids flutter if you'd like to. Open and close your mouth, right? Do a lot of facial movements is great. Then slowly move your hands, feet, and ankles. Then your hands can crawl away from each other. Your feet can crawl a little slowly toward each other, right? Gentle, gentle, until your feet are under your hips directly, or they can be touching, that's fine as well. You're going to rotate your palms to face the ceiling, and then still breathing here. Your breath does not matter. Just allow your body to recalibrate to this position, right? And then when you're ready, you can slowly let your knees fall to one side and then bring the hand that's opposite and arm over and just roll over to your side here, supporting your head with whatever you can and just lay on your side. You can remove that pillow or not. Just make yourself comfortable on your side. Breathing here, we're not really doing a practice of staying in this position. We're just letting our body say, okay, this is what's happening now, right? And then when you're ready, you can use your upper body, arms and shoulders to push up out of there. Really great job. That was excellent. Now we're just going to do a slight counter pose here. I'm going to reutilize that pillow behind my knees. Now my big toes are touching, my knees are apart. I'm going to sit back on the pillow here. If this does not feel good for your knees, you can add a block on top of the pillow or another thing to get your hips higher away from your feet. The higher the hips go, most likely the more comfortable your lower extremities will be. If your feet are uncomfortable here, you can try curling the toes under. You might like that more. If that doesn't work, you can elevate your shin on like another pillow so that your ankles are way up off the floor and your feet are not pressing on any surface in particular. Hands are on the floor, just rounding your spine here. Really good job. Breathing here. Easy breaths. You can also be on your elbows if having arms straight does not feel good for you. Easy breathe. Really good work. And then when you're ready, you can walk your hands up to you, and you can sit up on your feet if you can. If not, sit on a chair and just breathe, sitting up nice and tall, vertical. And hopefully you can feel how where that pillow was has a lot more feeling in that area. So now you can think about when you're arching your spine, are you accessing that part of your back where the pillow just was? It's often most difficult to get movement to the rib cage part of your spine. Easy to get movement around your neck and lower back, hardest where the ribs are. And that's where that feeling of arch can really be powerful and supportive from. So you're not always extending your neck and lower back maximally. Now you can focus on the soft tissue fibers that are in your middle back and understand where they are. Excuse me, I have to kind of scooch to get down to frame there. So I hope you enjoyed that. My name is Eric. This is Nucleus Strength. I look forward to getting stronger with you in the future. Yours in good health. Take care.